Luling, Texas, home of the world's biggest Buc-ee's and another WolfSteel product. So stay tuned for this amazing tour. Hey Pac, welcome back. It's Eric and my good friend
Adbeel,
not Adbeel.
Adbeel, yeah, Adbeel.
Been knowing this man for 15 years plus, and I'm just now learning how to say his name. But anyways, Pac, right behind me we do have a red iron weld up with many cool features, right Adbeel?
Yeah, this one's got a lot of cool features. We got the wraparound, and it's a unique way of doing a wraparound that you really see out there. As well as there's a lot of details that we're going to be talking about. And also, I know a lot of clients have been asking about, what's the difference between a weld up and tubular? I'm going to elaborate a little bit comparing this 40 wide weld up structure versus a 40 wide tubular structure. So I know we've been doing a lot of those. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So stay tuned on that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because, man, we got some awesome projects coming up. So
yeah, we got nothing but pure fire content coming out for this month of November and December. So y'all please hit that notification bell to stay updated on all WolfSteel Building videos. And what are we waiting for, Adbeel?
Let's go.
Let's get this tour started.
Let's get this tour started. Before we go into the building, take a look at just the landscaping. He's got it pretty well set here. He did raise his concrete. We didn't do the concrete work, but it's really, really good. Look at the edges of the outside, I would say like the fascia of the foundation.
The surface, yeah.
And it's just nice and smooth. Whoever did his concrete did a phenomenal job. And he's already got a nice approach that he has up to his structure. Now, as far as the size, Eric, talk to me. What is the size of this structure?
We do have a main structure with those dimensions are 40 wide, 80 long. We do have 16 feet on eave height.
For the main structure?
For the main structure. Now, if you want to talk a little bit more about the lean-to, I know the low side is at 14.
That's correct.
And why is that?
Yeah, so this is a very unique structure because a lot of times what you see, and marketing helped me out, you can see a wraparound lean-to where it's a slope down lean-to, but it goes all the way around even in the front. Here we actually have a 40 by 80 enclosed structure, and then we got 10 foot that comes out, and then 10 foot that comes out over there, which we call them gable extensions or utility type of structure. So it's basically like a little of an extension of a carport. And then the lean-to connects all the way around. So technically we do have a wraparound porch, and it's a very unique way of doing it. We did something very similar in Fredericksburg that we have on our channel. I know we did that one on our channel.
Almost a year ago.
We've done a couple of these already, but that was on our channel in Fredericksburg project. I'm even thinking if our client saw it from our YouTube and said, hey, I want the same thing, but I actually want a lean-to on the other side too. So if you want to check out that project, the link is going to be on top. Do you remember that project, Eric?
I do remember that project. I believe it was my debut on the channel, if I'm not mistaken. I know we recorded like 4 videos.
Of that project?
No, 4 videos of 4 projects in one day.
In one day.
We were wearing the same clothes.
Well, I can't remember. It's already been like about a year and a half. So I know it's on our channel, and it's a very popular building. So this is very, very similar to that. So we got 10-foot lean-tos, and then the extension, so it's 10 foot all the way around. So overall, this structure is like a 60 by 100.
Technically, right?
Technically.
Yeah, technically.
You know, we
Yeah.
just got some open spaces, which is unique.
And then, honestly, I'm kind of glad we saw another black and white building. It's
Yeah.
been a while.
It's been a while. It's just been a lot of the ECC, which is the gray, the dark gray with the black.
Yeah.
Here we got the white and black, and it's actually,
Matte
talk to
black.
me about the black.
It's actually matte black.
Matte black.
And we do have matte black on the wainscot, matte black on the trim, and the roof as well.
On the roof. And it's just basically matte black. It's basically the same color as the original black, but our panels in general have like a semi-gloss, so it has a little bit of a shine. Matte black just removes a little bit of that shine.
Actually, I'm really enjoying how the sun is hitting it right now. You can really tell the matte black versus a black panel.
Yeah, so with the matte black, the biggest difference is that, like, really you don't see much shine, but it helps with oil canning. So one of the things with like panels, with sheet metal in general, is that you're usually going to see some sort of oil canning, and that's just really a perspective of how we see it. Sometimes because a little bit of a stretching or a little bit of just a placement, you can see a little bit of the oil canning. With matte, you see it more minimized.
Yeah.
So,
and something that I would like to add on, Adbeel, is that if you're looking for a storage or a detached garage and not make it boring, matte black and white is a perfect color combination to make a statement. Like, yes, I have a garage, I have a detached garage, but it also looks good, you know?
yeah. Matte, yeah, so it's white and black, or even look into different color combinations that make a difference. You can choose a lot of different things. One that I hope we get in, you know, from our client perspective that I really like is just having a corner trim matching the walls. So just having like the roof
Yes.
trims, which the rake trims, matching just the roof, a different color, and then the side doing a different color.
A different color. Oh.
So hopefully we can show a previous project that I've done where I can show that if it's something that interests you, just to let you know, you can choose a different color trim, different color panels, trims on top, trims on the bottom. It's your building. You get to decide, and especially for weld-up buildings where there's a lot of customizations. For example, another thing we want to talk about here is that we got a lean-to, okay? And this is a continuous, but because it's weld-up, it gives us the ability to custom make it here in any way. Usually, you know, a continuous, we just got to continue the same roof line from the main structure. Here, we just created a break, and then we dropped to 14 foot on the lean-to. And this is what makes this weld-ups unique, is that it gives you a lot of fabrication versatility on site. Because it's all fabricated here. It's not prefab like a tubular building. Tubular building is already prefab. There's not a lot of customizations you can do on site. And here, that's what allows us to build very unique when it comes down to our weld-ups. You do see here something that stands out, and that is definitely the paint on the structure. So it's painted all the way around the black. Now we are doing some touch-ups because we're still not finished with this project. There's some little details that we're still got to work on, and one of them is we're coming back this week, I think on Thursday or Friday, to paint, to double touch it, just to make sure it's black, it's hard to paint. So we do have our roll-up doors. These are 10 by 10s. And then we got the wainscoting. Again, this is wainscoting. Now, in order to do this type of work, it will take a little bit of extra cost. And that's because we got to set this panel, and then we got to set this panel under. We got to bring in a special trim, which is the Z trim, we call it. And then we got framing members that I'm going to speak about in the inside, which is really unique, something that we do different than most builders out there. But overall, I mean, it's doing wainscoting. If you're trying to make a statement, like our client here, wainscoting definitely does make a statement. We got our steel door. Whoever did their concrete did a great job. You can tell they did their notch detail. So the door is sitting at the finished floor of the main structure, so no water comes in. Insulating the inside, steel core. And then we got some windows in the front. The reason why you're seeing in this corner, 4 windows is because our client is going to be building like an office space inside here. So it's just going to be like a small little office for himself. Come on in, because I want to show you guys the inside, but I do want to talk about that we do have gutters and downspouts. A lot of clients have asked, okay, what if I don't want gutters or downspouts, you know, for our weld up buildings or red iron buildings? Well, we can definitely not do it like where we don't have it, but we would just put like a flat trim. That is, we call it the eave trim. And honestly, it doesn't really stand out much. The gutters and downspouts are part of the whole package of the whole rake trim. It's a system, and therefore that's why we recommend to do the gutters and downspouts. Not only does it help to prevent erosion and have more control of your water, but it also is an aesthetic difference. So if you take a look from a drone footage, how great it looks, that's the reason why we're very big about doing gutters and downspouts on all our weld ups and all our red iron buildings, so even our bolt up buildings.
We have many points of entry, right?
Many points of entry. I mean,
we have 2 walk-in doors. We have 3 10x10 roll-up doors. Very, very multi-use building, Adbeel.
Have you spoken with the client why he has multiple doors?
He said he has his ATVs.
ATVs.
And he comes from the side, and then the front one is for his truck when he unloads all his stuff from storage.
You can tell right away here is like...
He has a very nice property.
It's a very nice property. It's big. You can tell he's got a lot of trails. So for that reason, he's got doors in many different parts of this project. So I'm assuming he's just going to enter here and park his ATVs.
Also for wind circulation.
Oh, okay. And so you can see here, like this is 10 foot wide. So we got a lot of space for even just to park them out here and just keep them out of the weather. One thing I did want to talk about is, this is our roll-up door, okay? So roll-up doors, if you have a lean-to, it's gonna make your roll-up doors really comfortable, because the sun, when it shines on steel, because these are made out of steel, corrugated steel, if the sun is shining directly on it, it'll make these really hot, and then it'll make your inside feel really hot. But having a wraparound lean-to actually makes your building in the interior a lot more cooler, because it's almost like having more trees and having more shade. Yes. And for that reason, all these roll-up doors are actually a good option in this project, because I can feel them and they feel really cool. If the sun was shining on them,
that'd be a different story.
It would be a different story. Another thing to keep in mind is that these are our 10x10 roll-up doors. 10x10 and smaller. This the same for tubular buildings. 10x10 or smaller, you're gonna have the latches on the outside, okay? If it's greater than a 10x10, so like a 12x12, 14x14, it will come with the chain hoist. Now, if you wanted it with chain hoist on that, you have to specifically request that, okay? So it's just something to keep in mind, and this works specifically a lot in tubular buildings. Tubular buildings, roll-up doors are pretty common, so just kind of, you know, have that in mind. So, whoops. And let there be light.
Let there be light.
let there be light. Come on in. Before we go inside, well, come this way. I want to show you a couple things, okay? First of all, our trimming system is really nice for our doors. We do speak a lot about it, the U-trim. You know, it's something that we do, you know, different. Sometimes they say, well, shouldn't that be standard? Well, yeah, it should be. Just little details to take into account. Another thing we did specifically, come over here, for this project is, I mean, we bended it and cut it, and then we welded it here. So if you can see here, this is more for safety concerns. So in normal, you can see from up top, if you can show them up there.
I'll show them.
Okay. If you can see up there, you can see how it would be left. But since here is where people are around, maybe kids, you know, it's something that we do extra to make sure that, you know, you have a good experience with your building. And so these edge bends are something that we like about what we do, and it's just those little details.
Yeah.
Let me explain a little bit more why we use this square tubing, okay? Because it's actually not common in the industry. Like 90% of our competitors, maybe 95, maybe 99, I'm not sure, but I haven't seen it common, don't use a square tubing. What they use is a base angle, okay? The base angle is the one that you see on the bottom. It's very common to use the base angle on the bottom. It's needed to be able to bolt the panels on, and that's what we use on it. Most builders will use on top. We started doing the 2x2 square. And so the 2x2 square, if you can show a little bit over here, is where we're bolting the panels onto, and also the Z-trim, okay? So we could also use a base angle. This one's probably about 30% of the cost of this square tube. So it does add up in cost, okay? So it's business. At the end of the day, there's always ways to try to find. However, we found that, you know what? We like the square tubing. It just really is a little detail extra, but this is at a window level, basically. Kits are here, and then you got all these screws popping out like those. It's just better to have something more safier, and it's just something that makes it different. Let us know in the comments if you like this. So you think this is a detail that, you know, makes a difference to you guys. I know our client right now is not doing insulation on this structure. However, first of all, there's a lot of trees, so it's pretty cool here. And then he's going to be doing his office space, which I'm assuming that's where he's going to probably enclose it or whatever. Now, foam gap enclosures. He did purchase the foam gap enclosures, which you can see help seal this building out. It's all the way on the wainscoting, on the ground, and you know, it's still a good additional feature. Well, check out the inside, guys. It's beautiful. I know he did do the notch detailing. We didn't do the concrete. It looks really, really good though. The notch detail for the doors was a little bit off, but it makes it work. It's great. I do see a crack, okay? And let me talk about cracks. This is not structural. This is a hairline crack, and you can see like it's just going all the way across here. If you can show a little bit of a clip. It's not a bad thing, okay? Concrete will crack. It's something that just will happen, and I kind of wanted to elaborate on this. To me, this concrete is great. They did a great job, and it's very solid. A crack becomes concerning when it starts becoming the thickness of a quarter. So if you can fit a quarter in it, then now you got a crack that is concerning. But hairline cracks, it's just gonna happen. There are ways to minimize, you know, hairline cracks. However, that's a talk for another day. But overall, this concrete is really, really good. So here is 40 wide.
Yes, the main structure is 40 wide.
16 foot tall,
16
a lot of
foot to the
space,
eaves.
80 foot long.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the difference between a weld up and a tubular wide span commercial trussing, okay? So two things to keep in mind. First of all, when you're buying a weld up building, we're automatically going to use 26 gauge PBR panels, okay? You can get a 40 wide tubular structure, but it will come standard 29 gauge. You have to upgrade it to 26 gauge panels, which is like the ag panel, which is a different design. PBR panel has more of a edgy, rough look, and then the ag panel has more of a rounded, and I hope marketing can show the differences between both. Now, if you upgrade it, now the prices start to shift where they're pretty about the same, because you could get a tubular 40 by 80 for a little bit less of a price. Another thing to keep in mind is to build a weld up, we have to have a team that has higher skills, okay? Why do I say that? Because a tubular building, we fabricate it at our shop. We fabricate everything. We put it together at the job site. But a weld-up building, it's all fabricated here on the job site, and then also put together, and then also the trimming, the details of the trimming and the sheet metal has to be done by that team. And in the tubular, you basically break it apart. And so the skill set is higher, which means more money, more labor, okay? That's some of the differences between the weld-up and the tubular. Definitely weld-ups in general are not engineered, but that's a topic to talk about later on. But I hope I answered a little bit more of your questions on the differences. you could get a 40 by 80, tubular for lesser of a cost than a weld up. The weld up is just upgraded by default. It does have heavier materials. We got 6-inch purlins on the walls, 8-inch purlins on the roof, and then we got 12-inch beams all the way on this structure. And then obviously the lean-to, we also have I-beams. And if you know, in construction, I-beams are pretty strong. So that's what makes this. And then it's all welded together. Welding is strong, especially if it's very well welded and penetrated. It's a very strong connection. And for that reason, weld ups are just require more labor, heavier materials compared to a tubular.
Equipment.
But they're both great.
Yeah.
They're both great. It's kind of like saying, which one's better, Chevy or Ford? Or Chevy or Toyota? At the end of the day, they both get you to 100 miles an hour or 60, 70 miles an hour, and they both can pull, right? It's just a matter of a difference in their engineering and how they were built, okay? So I hope that answers your question. All right, guys, another thing that is different between a tubular construction and red iron or weld up construction. In this case, I'm specifically speaking about weld ups, because there is red iron bolt ups, which is a little bit different, okay? So red iron can be divided into weld ups and rigid construction, or like bolt up construction, okay? But here we're speaking about weld ups. The difference is that we usually don't go bigger than 20. We can go up to 25-foot spacings, and what I'm talking about is the main columns are at 20-foot spacings, okay? So a tubular building, if you're putting doors on the side, and if you saw one of our projects out of Weatherford, Texas, we had a lot of doors on the side, okay? The spacings of columns for tubular is typically around 10 feet, sometimes to 8 feet, depending where the location is. Because if we're in like Houston area where we got a lot of winds, we got to shorten that spacing, okay? But for weld ups, usually our spacing is 20 foot. So if you wanted a door right here, we probably wouldn't be able to do it, okay? You have to kind of fit your doors, but the 20-foot spacings allow you to be able to fit your door here, any size doors. And if you were doing it in tubular, we have to build headers, okay? And so in a way, it can become more cost effective to do doors on the side with a weld up, because as long as you fit it between those 20-foot spacings, it's kind of rare for you to have a 20-foot wide door. And if you notice here, we got a door in between this column, these two columns, and then we got a door in between these two columns, and these are 10-foot doors, okay? So just kind of the differences between both. Don't forget to check out that 40 by 80 project we did in Weatherford. You'll find a little bit, you can now start to put together a little bit of the differences between both projects. So hopefully this also helps.
Well, there you have it, Pack. I hope you guys enjoyed Adbeel and all his knowledge. How long have you been in the industry, Adbeel? 15, 16, 18 years?
Probably, metal buildings is about 17 years, approximately, I think. We just come from a family of metal builders, so it's just like our whole family's around metal buildings, and that's what we do. So.
Legend has it that you were born in a metal building, right?
Ah, come on.
But anyways, Pack, I hope you guys enjoyed this 40 by 80 red iron out here in Luling, Texas. Is there anything else that you want to add to our viewers?
Well, that peak box, man, it feels like it's missing something. It looks nice, but it's missing something. What do you think, Erik?
I think it is. I think we should start putting our WolfSteel logo on all of our peak boxes and all of our projects. What do you guys think?
Leave us in the comments. What do you think? Just the logo, not necessarily the name. If you would buy a metal building from WolfSteel Building, would you like the logo?
The logo
mascot?
head. But something that I really want to add, this project was sold by Ernesto, our newest sales director at WolfSteel Buildings. He will no longer be with the Apex Wolves. They're extinct now since he's moving up in the world. He's our new sales director. But this is one of his last projects that he has sold. Again, it is an amazing project. Ernesto, you went out with the bang. It's an amazing project. But anyways, Pac, hope you enjoyed this 40 by 80 tour with the lean-to as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on all WolfSteel Building videos, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.